Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. This is y&ymission. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. y&ymission teaches the 100% like doctrine as GMS. It's the truth. I want to bring out this real ID thing and how basically the video and some scriptures and how basically it's just going to segue one of the avenues to the Motb, the Karagma. Okay, the Karagma. It's going to segue one of the roads that it's going to lead to the Motb. All right. So people in different regions and in different locations and whatnot throughout the country are getting, somewhat taken advantage of by the federal government on switching over and being left put to the side, and some people are able to get this real ID quickly, but this is one of the ways of many roads that is going to lead into the Motb. It's a trick bag, so to speak. All right, so I'm going to bring it up.
Assembles the most vehicles in the country, Ford. It's a commitment Ford dealers share by offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles.
Pressure to get a real ID in Kentucky is ramping up. The TSA is now requiring them as identification, and Kentucky was late to the game in offering them.
That's right, and going in person could mean you spend hours in line. As WLWT News 5's Brian Hamrick is finding out, if you want to make an appointment, Brian, the wait is even longer.
Yeah, actually, the wait time at some of these regional offices are hours and hours if you just walk in. Now, you can make an appointment, but we found that with those, you won't want to set your watch. You'll have to set your calendar. At the Burlington DMV, Melissa Kidd brought about everything you can imagine.
Birth certificate, proof that I had an eye test, passport.
But quickly found there's no license required for driving people to the edge.
I thought I was completely covered, but now they want a marriage license from 2005.
And this wasn't her first try. She came as a walk-in 2 other times. And after hours of waiting, she didn't even get inside, so she booked an appointment. We tried to do that today. At local offices, Burlington and Covington, the next available appointment is 43 days away. Too long for this family. He just signed up for the Army and needs real ID to ship out.
Did you get a text message yet?
In 2 weeks.
It has been a complete mess.
The pressure to get real ID ramped up since the TSA recently started requiring it to fly. Kentucky was among the last to get a system to issue real ID. Add to that the normal load.
He wants to wait till we're closer to the neighborhood.
And Salyer Hudgens' son is getting his first license. Just getting the appointment.
It was quite a process.
They did have the required documents, unlike Melissa Kidd, who fortunately remembered to bring her sense of humor.
DNA, buddy, DNA. Stool samples next. So, yeah, it's kind of crazy.
She is not taking any chances, apparently, Brian. But are there any hacks, rather, to make this process any easier?
Yeah, Chris, we found a couple of things. If you're trying to get that online appointment, just stick with it, because sometimes people will cancel and you refresh the page and another appointment will come up. We did that today and it actually brought up an appointment for today. So most of the time it's 43 days out. But if you just stay with it, you might get lucky. The other thing you can do is go to different regional offices. At the same time in Burlington today that they were waiting 4 and 5 hours, over here in Covington, they were getting in and out within an hour. So just kind of try some of these different offices, Chris.
Yeah, it sounds like patience might be the key going forward for a lot of these people. Brian, thank you so much.
As you can see, the real ID, you need a lot of documentation, depending on your individual's situation, you're going to need more or less documents, or how, connected you are to this world, and your age and different factors play a role in you getting a real ID, okay? But ultimately, it's going to get to a point, like I said, I did videos on the real ID to being a trick bag and a segue into the Motb. They want to put you on the shelf. You won't be able to go into different cities. They had a man on there saying that he needs his real ID for the military. I don't know why he ever have to go down to the local DMV or whatever, NBA, but DMV, he should be able to just segue because of the military, I would assume, but obviously that's not the case. A lot of documentation heavy. It was a video I did about an older woman. She had all her documents, older black woman, so-called black woman, Israelite woman, and they would not let her get her real ID for her driver's license, okay, because she needed to be able to drive, okay. And now you got Edomites getting caught up in their own web, okay, their own system, okay. It's a process, if not impossible, for them to even get their IDs now, real IDs. But this is all going to segue into the food insecurities, okay, and ultimately segue into being, tricked into getting the Motb to have some type of relief. This is one road that is going to lead. The real ID is one of the roads that's going to lead to the Motb. Okay, so this thing is a trick bag designed by the federal government. Also be aware and know that ICE is coming down real hard on everybody, and now you got the TSA coming down hard with everybody as far as travel. So the federal government is stepping into a lot of these states, stepping on a lot of these states' toes, and this is also going to segue into the Civil War too, as well. Okay, one of the ways that it's going to start heating things up with domestic and civil war amongst the Babylon, okay, Egyptian against Egyptian, okay, not to mention the racial tensions, but also because the federal government is stepping on the states, getting or cutting funding from the states. You see Trump doing that with different programs and, going after these colleges and whatnot, and of course the immigrants. So this is a segue into, and going to help segue also into dividing, okay, and of the nation, Egyptian against Egyptian, and just overall chaos in the country, okay, instability, okay. The government is wants to remain and have control. They're losing control, but they're clamping down even more. Some bring out some scriptures. Daniel 7:25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, okay? Change times and laws, and that's what he's been doing these last 5 years, okay? Between Biden and Trump, okay? They have been changing times and laws like crazy, okay? And they shall be given into his hand into a time and times and dividing of time. So, the Edomite, Amalek, okay, they're Esau, they're coming down with, changing times and different things and laws because, they understand that the Most High is getting in their ass right now, bringing their kingdom down, and also Yahushua is on his way. So they understand that behind the scenes. Okay, Revelations 13:16, and he calls up all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, right? Like I said, this is going to ultimately segue into the Karagma, the mark, okay, Motb, all right? And people are going to get it. People already have it in different parts of the world right now, including Babylon the Great, America. A lot of military people are starting to reveal that they have it, okay, already. there are videos of that, and it doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, free or bond, okay? It's going to ultimately lead into the Real ID, and different other avenues are going to lead into the Motb, okay? And being able to travel is one of them, because Americans, okay, Babylonians, they want to be able to move from city to city freely, whether they're flying or driving, okay? And the TSA is putting a slow grind to that, a slow halt, okay? They're changing up things, okay? So ultimately, it's going to lead to the Motb, okay, on the segways, okay? Revelations 13:17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, right? So he won't be able to do anything, okay? And like you said, these people that can't get to their DMVs, can't get their real IDs, they're going to be set on a shelf, and these people are going to ultimately get desperate, okay, and take unnecessary risks in order to do the things that they need to do, or get the things they need to get, or move about the way they need to move, okay? If they can't even go get a license or even fly to different cities, okay, it's going to get out of hand, all right? Revelations 12:12, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time, right? And that's ultimately why in the last 6 years, these devils, okay, these Edomites have been coming down with great wrath. Amalek, okay, it's moving real reckless out in the Middle East, okay. You see U.S. is antagonizing Russia, okay, so the stage is set for the third woe, okay, for destruction of this kingdom, or this queendom per se, by Amalek and Esau, and Jacob is up next, okay, and Yahweh is bringing this place down, grinding it to a slow halt, putting the pressure on the people above and below, all sides, and people and organizations and different countries and whatnot are fracturing under that pressure right now, okay? So this is a good time for the service of the Lord, men of the Lord, starting with the apostles and the elders, a great millstone all the way down. This has been preached, went out to the four corners of the world, okay, what was coming, and it's gradually showing every day that these prophecies, okay, the prophets have been right, okay, all along, all right? So I just wanted to bring Real ID update. Yeah, basically it's a trick bag, okay? And some people are going to get through the cracks and get a Real ID and get back to what they were doing. But other people that try to get a Real ID are going to be left on the hook with the hot potato, so to speak, because they won't have the documents, or they will have to try to get certain documents, or they won't be recognized in the system. And plus, remember, you got ICE getting the Northern Tribe out of Dodge too. They're getting more and more aggressive with their tactics and their strategies to get Northern Tribe, the so-called Latinos, Hispanics, okay, Mexicans, Guatemalans, okay, Brazilians, Latin Americans, Panamanians, okay, you guys, Argentinians, okay, Colombians, you guys are making the news right now. But also this is going to ultimately come down on the Southern tribes, you so-called Black Americans, you so-called Jamaicans, okay, you so-called Haitians, you Northern Negro, Southern tribes, okay, you're going to be up after the Northern tribe gets their just due and their wake-up call. Okay, so Esau is putting the pressure on everybody. There's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. We ultimately know this is through the spirit and power, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah. Judgments are going out daily. Okay, so with that, I like to say all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah, Ba'Shem Rakak Radash. Shalom.